Taylor of the Times, and we're here at the 2009 SEC Media Days at the Winfrey Hotel, and I have the pleasure of interviewing Duce Staley, former running back of South Carolina, and also a radio host in the Carolina area. Duce, just want to talk to you a little bit about being a player in the SEC, and now being a member of the quote-unquote media. Yeah. How does that help you understand events like Media Days and such as this? Does it help prepare you for all this sort of stuff?
Yeah, it does. You know, of course, playing in the NFL for 10 years and being able to come down here and be a part of media role, be a part of something that's great, be a part of this conference in the SEC, which is the best conference, you know, in the world. It's fun. I really like it. And I got some co-hosts that I work with, Jay Phillips, Michael Haney. Those guys have been great. So, you know, making that transition was tough at first, but now I feel like I kind of know the ropes.
What are some of the reasons that you think the SEC is such a dominant league?
Hands down, it's because of the coaching. You know, of course, you look in the SEC, you got Bobby Petrino, you got Meyer, you got Miles, you got Davis. I mean, the list goes on. And when you start talking about having that many coaches in one conference, of course, the level of play has to rise.
Back in your playing days, a lot of guys. Spurrier had his run in Florida. Alabama had two championships. I mean, what do you see is different now in the SEC as opposed to when you played, or do you think it's basically the same?
Oh, it's not the same. Definitely not the same. Like I said, you know, adding those coaches, when you talk about adding a Meyer and you talk about Miles and those guys, of course, don't forget about Coach Rick in Georgia. I mean, the list goes on, and the level of play rises. Of course, you go out and you talk about recruiting. One of the things that's really kind of crazy to me on the drive down here, coming from Columbia, South Carolina, right in the smack middle of Atlanta, you see a big billboard, as basically it's an Auburn billboard, right in Atlanta. Did you expect that? You guys, I was shocked to see that, but that lets you know about all the money that they're spending on recruiting. And recruiting has definitely boosted, you know, some of these schools. You talk about being in the top 10, top 15 in the nation, and you look at Florida, you look at a school like Florida, who get anybody they want in the country. And if I'm not mistaken, Florida's the type of school that got to turn away talent. Can you imagine that?
They do. And I got a couple of questions before I let you go. What is your pick for the SEC championship game and why?
That's a tough one. Of course, out of the East, I think that Florida will go. It's just so hard for me to pick against Saban. Saban is one of those coaches that's consistent. Of course, they didn't get it done last year like they wanted to, but, you know, going 12-0, it speaks volumes. You know, you start talking about Saban. We had this conversation before. You know, here's a guy that's running what is called a mundane offense during this time. You know, when you got Florida with just basically run and shoot, throw it everywhere, running everywhere. You got LSU with Trenton Holiday that can do everything on the field. And then, you know, you got, of course, Mississippi State on the rise with Mullen. I mean, it's just everybody's looking to throw the ball around. You got Bobby Petrino out of Arkansas. He wants to throw it everywhere. And here comes Alabama. Alabama lines up. They pretty much point to where they're going to run, and they tell you to stop it. See, when you got a school like that traditionally has been running the ball forever, and they still do it, it's hard to stop it.
No, they're doing good. Well, who's your pick in the national championship game?
Another good question. Of course, I think it would be someone from this conference. The last 3 national champions, if I'm not mistaken, came from this conference. I just think that the conference is too strong. There's too much competition in this conference to say, and it's too good of teams. When you talk about Florida returning all the starters, they're returning, and you talk about, you know, Georgia, who may slip under the radar. You got Ole Miss. I understand there's going to be some bumps and bruises along the way, but look for the champion to come out of here.
And I got to ask you a final question. Talk about your alma mater. Obviously, Coach Spurrier is a great coach. I mean, what does he have to do to make Carolina's program go to the next level?
Got to get a consistent quarterback, and we got a consistent starter, I think, in Garcia. And now, hopefully, he'll be the guy that takes us, you know, throughout the whole year. But he has to be consistent. I think that, you know, we got to get that, and also got to have a consistent running game. And we got to have identity. You know, when you talk about a school that doesn't have identity, that's us. You know, we're not known for running the ball. We're not known for throwing long or throwing deep. We're not known for a short passing game. I mean, it's tough when you're not known for something. And when you go out there and try to create this, create that, usually it's fair.
Well, Duce, you got a great show and great knowledge of the game. I appreciate your time. God bless you. Take care. Thank you very much.